will be king of the island.
Great start from pole position by Repsol Honda man Marc Marquez. Jack Miller got away well from that second row. Miller looks like he's already up in the second place as they sweep down into the doing corner. Marquez definitely got the whole shot. Andrea Marquez got the initial drag from the line, but Jack Miller was superb from fifth on the grid. Here he is then down in the brakes for turn 4 for the first time. Valentino Rossi aggressive up the inside of Pol Espargaro. Rossi's had a good start. He's already now up in the 5th place.
But Miller leads the way. Up through Siberia he comes, up over the road. They plunge down Lukey Heights towards turn 10. Miller has got absolutely nothing to lose. Rossi up the inside of Pol Espargaro.
Oh, and Johan Zarco dive-bombing Bradley Smith on the brakes at turn number 10. Aggressive as always from the Frenchman. He picked up Bradley Smith. He had no issues with Rossi. Jack Miller then leads this Australian Grand Prix by just under a full second. 9/10 years clear of Maverick Vinales in second place. This is the podium challenge, or the victory challenge even, that Valentino Rossi did not expect, but you can never rule him out on a Sunday afternoon. Aleix Espargaro and Johan Zarco are having a real good dogfight for 5th place.
The move here is Andrea Dovizioso.
Yeah,
he has just got to salvage what he can, hasn't he?
Well, it's a case of damage limitation now for Dovizioso. He's still in 18th place. That mistake at Doon Corner very early on in this race cost him well over 3 seconds. Dropped out of the point scoring places.
And Brock Parks.
What a job by Carol Abraham there. He's the top Ducati at the moment, 11th and 12th place.
We ride with Valentino Rossi. That is Marc Marquez behind him.
First time Jack Miller has led a MotoGP
live championship as we stand. It would be a 24-point advantage for Marc Marquez with 2 rounds of the championship remaining, but these result places are not going to remain the same because Valentino Rossi has moved into second place past his teammate Maverick Vinales at the hairpins. 11 and then 12 onto the Doon Straight they will come. The Gardner Straight, down Lukey Heights and then up towards 11 and 12. It really has closed right up at the front, as you can see, right up at the front.
What about the 2 men at the front of this race? Jack Miller broke his right leg 3 weeks ago. Valentino Rossi
is here, and they switch just one bit, they go back, and it's changed the game. Super race, absolutely breathtaking. This is motorsport and it's absolute peak. You just don't get better than this. And here we go, Marquez up the inside, up the hairpin. No way Zarco can fight.
He wrote his own chance off yesterday, said he really didn't feel like he had any chance of fighting for the win, possibly for the podium, not for the win. And here he is, halfway through this Australian Grand Prix, setting the pace at the front, trying to capture what would be, amazingly, his 116th career Grand Prix win. He's 90th. In
tough old time at the moment.
And Dovizioso's going to be seething. He's going to be kicking himself for that early mistake. His lap times are comparable with the guys at the front of this race. Last time around he did a 1:30.5. That was the exact same lap time set by your race leader Valentino Rossi, just a fraction outside of the best pace on that last lap by Marc.
Just as we were looking at Marquez thinking who's going to go past Rossi, Zarco beat us all to it and got up the inside and took back second place.
Dovizioso's closed onto the back wheel again of Pedrosa in that battle for 11. He's halved the gap down to 0.2 of a second, back with the leaders through.
Maverick Vinales, a former winner here, 3rd in the race here last year. Bottom of Lukey Heights, up the inside, on the brakes, and he's made it stick.
Please, please, please don't rain here in Phillip Island.
Took the words out of my mouth.
This is going to be an absolute barnstorming final. 11 laps over the line.
And that may have a bearing on the way he rides these last few laps, certainly if the tyres start to go off. But we just have to watch the front. The 2 Yamahas. Valentino Rossi, we ride with him right in his face, number 5. Johan Zarco, here comes Zarco up the inside. Johan Zarco leads the French Grand Prix once again. Lukey Heights, 10.5 to go. Zarco over the top on that 2016 Yamaha in Tech 3 colours, leads the way. On the brakes, Rossi thinks and decides not to make it.
Giannoni picked up Marc Marquez on the brakes down into turn 10. Phillip Island to start lap number 18.
He's going to hold the lead by the look of things. The shadows from the bike, it's getting later in the afternoon here, but it remains dry. He does hold the advantage over Rossi. Vinales looks very, very dangerous indeed in Finland. And Andrea Iannone.
Option rear.
Valentino Rossi retakes the lead at the hairpin. Maverick Vinales thinks about it, trying to ride round the outside of Zarco, not able to do so. Iannone is there. Marquez is there.
Dovizioso has found his way back through then on Dani Pedrosa, taking him a few laps. Well, there he is at the inside there at the southern loop, up the inside of Johan Zarco. Marc Marquez, he loves left-hand corners, his dirt track background, that's why he's so strong in corners like the southern loop. He's been brilliant there all race long.
He certainly has. They break hard now for the chicane. Rossi lining up Vinales. No, not close enough.
You know, around in Qatar, he's like a revitalised, a rejuvenated man right now.
I know the bike has improved greatly, but it's a lot to do with him. At last, we're getting the best out of Andre, you know, and we know how good he was. Anybody saw him here at Phillip Island just 2 years ago would know exactly that.
Do you remember that move? 22 Vinales and Marquez stretched their legs at the front. What has Vinales got here for Marc Marquez? He said yesterday in the dry that Marc Marquez was by far the faster rider. They've clearly found something to get a bit more tyre life out of that Michelin rear tyre for the Yamaha. That's been their problem, of course. We'll get Marquez is attacking at turn 4, and he's got through.
Not wanting to break a ride through turn 8, 6.5 laps to go up to Lucky Heights.
Well, this is it. This is Dylan's tip-off point. That Michelin said 20 laps into the race when the soft rear tyre might just start to have a little bit of excessive wear. So we're into perhaps the crunch stage of the race. Rossi up the inside of Vinales at turn 10.
Vinales almost alongside him. They're over the line. 6 laps to go here at Phillip Island. Rossi second, Vinales. You can see Zarco behind them. But Marquez, well, at the moment, he's not over the advantage. Where did Zarco come from there?
He rode around the outside of Vinales, and there's almost contact between Vinales and
Zarco. Rossi is working, but they're all working so hard to make sure that Marquez does not own that advantage. There's a bit of a wobble from Rossi as they come up towards Siberia.
Yeah, Maverick Vinales lost 4 places there. This is on board. Look at that, he got his nose wiped. Big firm right now, you have to say.
Yeah, Rossi looks very comfortable in second place at the moment. Zarco, as always, absolutely giving it all. Andre Iannone, we haven't seen Andre Iannone ride like this on a Suzuki, but Marquez leads the way. They come through turns 11 and 12. Onto the...
Really tight between Andre Iannone and Johan Zarco at the southern loop. Iannone thought about a move, but then he knew there would be definite contact. Rossi there, you can see him, big twitch on that rear tyre as he came out on the gas from the southern loop. Is Rossi just struggling for a little bit of grip? They do get wheel spin issues at this stage of the race, do the Yamaha.
Here comes Zarco.
Here's Marc Marquez, because it will just mean he can start breaking away at the front. His advantage now, Marquez, it's the biggest it's been for quite some time. He's almost 7/10 of a second quicker than Zarco, or up on Zarco as they drop down through Lucky Heights for the 23rd time of asking. In his debut year for the factory Yamaha team, Marc Marquez has definitely got the hammer down here in Phillip Island. He's just fired in his fastest lap of the race, a 1:30.001, 3/10 quicker than the man behind him, Johan Zarco. Marquez leads by just under 6.5 tenths.
Got Redding in behind.
Andre Dovizioso, Rossi up the inside of Zarco again at turn number 4. How many times have those two swapped places with brilliant overtakes into that 4th corner in this race?
And Iannone now closes right up on Johan Zarco as they come up over the Siberia left-hander.
I think Jack Miller and Alex Rins are...
Well, this is our look at Zarco from the rear wheel of the Yamaha Valentino Rossi. You see Iannone there in 4th place. Interesting to see what the gap is. They cross the line with 3 laps to go because Marquez has got that hammer down.
Remember that controversial race in 20 to a full second?
Just under a second with 3 laps to go. That is the gap from the helicopters you can see as they come around the Stoner corner. Rossi, Iannone, Zarco. Oh, if Andre Iannone could put that Suzuki on the podium here. There
She'll breakaway. He picked Rossi up at turn 4. Rossi had to run wide. Zarco swept through as well. Andre Iannone, of course, going for personal glory. He couldn't give an iota about Marc Marquez at the front of this race.
It's all getting a little bit tight in this battle for the podium. Rossi, Iannone and Zarco. And he
would have going to Malaysia next weekend, and Marc Marquez now comes over the line at the end of lap 25. His advantage is up to 1.9 seconds. 2 seconds then now almost. Marquez leads.
What a race though it is for the final podium positions. There is Marquez, Zarco, Rossi now back into...
From Redding and Dani Pedrosa, will not want to relinquish these 2 places. Rossi and Zarco get very close to touching again at turn 4.
I won't say they're handing it on a plate to Marquez, because I think Marquez is quite capable of pulling away, but this is more like a Moto3 encounter, isn't it, for the battle for the podium position.
When you think about the way that
Zarco following Rossi, Iannone coming under a fair bit of pressure now from Vinales. Crutchlow, Miller, Rins, Paul Espargaro, Bradley Smith. That is your top 10.
Last time out in Japan 1 week ago, Marc Marquez started the last lap in the lead of the race. It was the first time in his MotoGP career since 2013.
Side at the southern loop, here comes Zarco, no he's not, and Vinales right behind him. Somebody's going to be disappointed here. We ride with Dovizioso. Scott Redding, who leaves Ducati at the end of the season. There's no loyalty here, I can absolutely promise you. You also got a glimpse there of Danny Pedrosa.
Here's this three.
Try and take it on the brakes of Rossi, and Rossi, who rides defensively quite brilliantly, will know he's coming. Here we go. This is Marquez at the top of Lukey Heights. Surely he's going to win this Australian Grand Prix. But now then, look at this battle for second place. Here they come. He's got two hands, less one finger on that trophy. Marquez wins a magnificent race here in Australia.
Valentino Rossi wins an epic fight for second place. Johan Zarco pit.
Here is that fight. Well, this is Zarco and Rossi, and as they come out of that final corner, Zarco gets mugged by Maverick Vinales.
It's on the line by Maverick Vinales. Vinales takes third place by 100th of a second. Zarco for worse.
Well, it's been a bad day, but that is an absolute disaster.
Look at the faces in the factory Ducati team. They cannot believe it. That may be the final nail in Andrea Dovizioso's coffin for the World Championship this year, because what a crucial win by Marc Marquez on the lap. Yamaha's long barren run without a victory doesn't go to 4 races. It was the first time in 10 years they had not had a podium in 3 successive races, but Rossi puts that record straight, and Vinales taking third place from Johan Zarco right at the end of that race.
What a superb...
God, he could not have done anything more, could he, Johan Zarco? On board with Maverick Vinales, he almost actually took
Rossi, didn't he?
Second place from Rossi. The gap between the 3 Yamaha men over the line was less than 1/10 of a second. But that was a monumental day for the
Scott Redding, of course, who leaves Ducati at the end of the season, and Marc Marquez's teammate Danny Pedrosa.
What a job by the KTM men as well. Paul Espargaro just getting the better of his teammate Bradley Smith. Well, it's been Dobby in dreamland this year, but that was a nightmare for Andrea Dovizioso. So he has a good long look at that Michelin rim. Massive wheel spin as he tried to gun that factory Ducati down the Gardner Straight. It just would not hook up for him.
In the end, Johan Zarco had to finish off the podium. He got caught right at the finish there by Maverick Vinales. A great